it's easy for me to want to like say everything about that person, but I'd rather say like let them say it to me, and hear it from their perspective.
Because if you speak, you only know what you know. You only find out things that you don't know from listening.
Yeah,
that's true.
And I've known this for a while, but like it's just like I guess you and I are the same. We like to talk, and it's just like this year and moving forward, I'm just trying to listen more. You know?
Yeah.
It's hard.
It is, man. It is, especially when you feel like passion for something. You want to just be talking about it.
And here's one thing I learned too, is that like people love to talk. You know, like whether that's about themselves or about things that they're passionate about. And then when someone's actually a good listener, you actually appreciate them a lot more. You know what I mean? Like if I'm talking to you guys and like you guys are actually listening on it, you guys are attentive, then I'm like, okay, you know what? I actually feel good that I'm actually having a conversation with these guys, rather than like you guys just like cutting me off and whatnot. So it's great to be a listener.
Yeah, you feel heard and appreciated. Like you could tell when someone's listening, they have their eye contact, they're silent, like their whole body language is like facing you.
Yeah.
And
exactly.
it's a good feeling when people are present, and I don't think people are present all the time.
No, definitely not. Like these days especially.
But we're present here. We're present.
No, absolutely.
We're locked in.
Yo, speaking of present, actually, I mean, I guess I'll just dive right into it, bro. I mean, like, congrats on doing Blues Fest, bro.
Dude,
was this your first time?
Yeah, it was my first time. Yeah.
Wow, that's huge. I've never been to actually a Blues festival.
No,
never been to a festival actually. I'm not like a big music guy.
I'm gonna change that one day.
Do it,
bro.
For both,
Next time you're there, we gotta hit him up.
I can appreciate good music. I'm not gonna lie, but one thing that I listen more often than just actually music is just lo-fi. Because hear me out. The reason why
I don't judge. I listen to lo-fi sometimes in the car.
Oh yeah.
Because my brain, bro, I drive without music. You know this.
Yeah.
I literally would drive for 2 hours with no music. But I feel like my brain is so hyperactive that when I listen to music, I feel like I can't think clearly because it's being disrupted. Imagine you studying and then like there's someone that's like listening, and just like I'm so focused that like my focus is being taken away.
For me, I'm the same where my brain's always going, but it's almost, that's why I like music, because it's like let me shut this off for a second, let me listen to their point of view, like feel the vibes out, like it's like puts you in a new world, and I'm like I have enough of my own thoughts. I can pause.
So it's kind of a distraction. I get what you're saying.
Yeah.
I saw a video like a few months ago on the internet, and some guy said music comes from silence. So whenever you have peace, whenever you could hear yourself think, like you know what I mean? Like you don't have to think about work or this or any problems you have going on. Whenever you're able to think, that's when the music flows.
In terms of creating music?
Just in general. Like it was interesting what he said, and I didn't really agree with it at first, and I really started to sit on it, and I'm like, that's true.
Yeah, man. Because that's something I've come into, not related to music, but just like thinking and having ideas in general. Is like I went through a phase, and like I feel like people get sucked into this where it's like, you know, you wake up, you check Instagram, then while you're making breakfast, you're watching YouTube, then you watch a show, then like there's never a quiet moment in your day. You get in the car, you throw on a podcast, there's always something coming in. So like if you can just learn to turn it all off every once in a while and listen and just have nothing going on, then that's when things start to actually come out of your own head.
That's why everybody come up with great ideas in the shower. Because you're actually just within your own thoughts, or like that's literally, why when you're about to go to bed, you're not thinking, you're not stimulated, because nowadays everybody's just stimulated, whether that's their phone, computer, or whatever. There's always something that's going on.
Definitely.
And then like I find that like everybody now gets very minimal like time, like peace time. I find
it's almost like scary, like being alone with your thoughts. Like who wants to do that?
But I mean, music actually drives you.
True.
It's hard, man. Like when
pandemic forced people to do that, they're like, you got to stay in, you got to figure it out.
Stuck with yourself. It's tricky, man.
But
going back to Blues Fest, dude, like what was that like getting that? Like did you reach out trying to ask for that? Did they reach out to you?
Yeah, so that's a question I got a lot. Like people are like, how'd you get into Blues Fest? So like every show in my life, it's just I've manifested it. It's come to me like someone knows me, or like someone will see something that I've done, and I don't know, it could be word of mouth. I have no idea how it happens. But so for Blues Fest, I actually applied for it.
Okay.
I kind of manifested it, but like actually happened.
Yeah. No, but like that's what I find too with business, with anything, is like just like sometimes it can't be forced. You just have to like have these genuine conversations, like meet with people, just get to know the community, and like you start to just have these connections that work your way into things like that.
But at the same time, like, you wouldn't have been picked out if you weren't actually doing something.
Oh, of
and like,
course.
if you weren't actually like a real artist, you know,
Yeah.
like I'm sure thousands of people applied. And
Well, that's the thing about
of
it.
course.
So in the application, it's like it was meant to be. So check it. So in the application, so I want to mention that I applied like many years ago. I don't remember how old I was. I was probably like maybe like 5, 6, 7 years ago. I got rejected. You know, when you first start something out, you're like, yo, I'm the best. I got this. And you put out your first song, your first music video, and like nothing happens, and you genuinely think it's gonna go viral.
Yeah.
So I guess I had a moment, applied for Blues Fest, got rejected, and I was like, okay. I would always go when I was a kid, me and my boys, and we would go and we'd like have a good experience. Like I love music, you know.
Yeah.
And when I was applying for the application, they actually required, from what I remember, there was like 2 shows that you had to have in the past year.
Oh wow.
And there's a few artists that I know. Obviously, there's like a lot of artists who are doing shows too, but there's like a few Ottawa artists that I know who actually have been doing those shows. So I did a show. I got reached out by CBL, so it's the Canadian Elite Professional Basketball League. So
Okay.
I'm sure you've probably heard J. Cole played on the Scarborough team.
Yes.
Oh,
Yeah.
that's the okay. That's
Yeah,
cool.
yeah.
That's
Yeah, so
cool.
I did that show. It was at Lansdowne, and I opened up for OVO. So it was Drake's label. It was Baka and Smiley.
wow.
And
Smiley, I'm dead.
I opened up
Wow.
for them, and then J. Cole actually came to the final game on
No
the Sunday.
way.
I wasn't there.
Okay.
I just saw the
Wow.
photo. I was like, damn, I was very close.
Damn.
Very close.
I love J. Cole.
Yeah.
I know I said I'm not a music guy, but I love J. Cole, bro.
J. Cole is one of the best, and honestly, like Drake's boys were really cool. I met all of them,
Yeah.
well, like most of them, and they're very humble, very nice guys, and yeah, it was a good show. And then after that show, I did Latin Sparks, which was the biggest
Yeah.
show that I've ever done to date.
Yeah.
Bigger than
like,
Blues Fest?
Well, bigger as in like the crowd. Like there was more of a crowd that was there, so there was like 5,000 plus people there.
Wow.
It was like it's like the biggest Latin event in Ottawa, if I'm not mistaken.
Yeah.
When was
I think
this?
so.
That was, I guess, so it was a month after the CBL show.
Okay.
Oh wow.
So I had those 2 shows back to back, and then
Yeah.
I was just like, that was it for the year.
Yeah.
And then you applied for Blues Fest in November, December.
Okay.
And then, yeah, I manifested it, and I did everything right. I worked hard, and I just keep grinding. And then 3 weeks after New Year's, I received an email from them, and I was like, wow.
Okay. So it was like you were sitting
Yeah.
on that for like a bit over a month, like waiting to hear back.
Yeah, and just the thinking back about it, like from before, like when I applied before, like I guess I wasn't ready. And like as I grow and like just mature and like gain more awareness, it's just like I start to realize I'm like, I'm ready now. I wasn't ready
Yeah,
before.
You could feel
okay.
it.
Yeah.
I've had this moment where like you go after something and then you actually get them like, oh fuck, am I actually like, can I actually do this? It's almost like it's like a big
Yeah.
it's like a big leap of
It's
like
also like it's a good way to test if you're ready. Like you feel ready, you apply. Okay, I guess I'm not. If I didn't make it, you know, like or maybe
no, not
that's
even
not
that.
my stage
like
yet.
actually getting there and then like actually having to perform.
Oh,
You know
I
what I mean? It's
see.
like, was that like? I guess that's what they call it, like a surreal moment. Like it doesn't feel real.
Yeah, fair. Like like what was it like? Like even after applying, you knew you got it. You knew you were ready. Like walking up, getting ready for the show. Like how was that? Was it more scary than Latin Sparks? You knew like did you know it was going to be a bit smaller?
Well, the biggest thing for me is like it's just hard for places to replicate like my sound.
Okay.
It's just very hard. Like for example, like you hear the sound in this like that from my songs.
Yeah.
It's very hard to replicate that on a live show.
Okay.
So I did a whole bunch of shows my whole life, and you know, like you've probably seen shows at clubs and it's like all muffly and stuff.
Yeah.
Like I've been done from literally like from the bottom, and it's just we're gonna keep going up.
Yeah.
And so I kind of going into Blues Fest, I had like high expectations because I know like their sound is the best.
Yeah. Mhm.
I've been going there since I was a kid. I stopped going because you know I'm more on the grind.
Yeah.
But yeah, like I saw some videos and I got it was the most positive feedback I've ever received. Like I did the show, I woke up the next day, and my phone was blowing up.
Oh, wow.
Citizen wrote an article about me.
Yeah, I saw that.
Huge picture. Like I don't even know. Like people tag me and people send these things to me, and a whole bunch of articles, and there was a whole bunch of pictures and stuff. It was like, it was incredible. Like I knew Blues Fest was. It's apparently it's top 10 biggest outdoor festival in the world.
In the world, not even in Canada.
No, in
Wow.
I'm pretty sure it's in the world. I checked their Twitter and they wrote it. It's like in the world. Yeah, so it is in the
wow.
world. So
That's insane.
That's wild.
yeah, it's crazy. But think about it like this: have you ever, throughout the entire world, seen a show that is 2 weeks long?
I know that's
They
what I was
do
about
weekends.
to say.
Osheaga,
It's so
Coachella,
long.
they have weekend 1, 2.
Yes, yes.
Blues Fest, I believe, it's like
14
It's
days
so
straight.
I've
long.
never seen that before,
It's
and
so
I was
long.
thinking about it, and
Damn.
I was like, that's probably why Blues Fest is so big. It's like they bring so many different artists, and
Yeah, over such a long. Because I
yeah,
saw that.
so many artists, incredible artists for sure.
Yeah, I saw this year over the whole thing. There was like 300,000 people went over the whole 2 weeks.
That's
Damn.
crazy.
Which is wild.
That's like
coming up on 500,000. Like that's wild.
That's
like
almost
thir-
half the population of
yeah, that's
Ottawa.
30% of
True, eh?
Ottawa's
Yeah,
population.
pretty much.
That's
God
wild.
damn.
And I'm pretty sure some people traveled from Toronto or Montreal
Oh,
to come here. And
absolutely, yeah.
Were
Yeah,
you
a lot of
the
people.
Were you the only one? Were you the only artist here in Ottawa that performed at Blues Fest, or were there other artists?
I actually opened for so it was me, Dax, and then Baby No Money.
Is he
Okay.
Ottawa?
Dax is from
No,
Ottawa.
Dax is from Ottawa.
Was.
Yeah,
Or I
But
think
BB
he
No
moved,
Money, I
right?
thought it was like BC or something.
yeah. So I met both of them.
Okay.
He's from he said he was from Vancouver,
Yeah,
I believe.
yeah.
Really nice guy. They were both really humble, very kind people, and it was funny because like as I elevate, you know, like you start to grow and you start to meet people, and like, you know what I mean?
Yeah.
And when you meet people, you realize they're just like me and you. They're
It
just
is
regular
wild,
people.
eh?
They're just grinding. Like
Yeah,
I know.
absolutely.
they're well, clearly like an artist is an artist. You know, there's something very unique about the music that they make.
Definitely.
But like, I realized we're all like, whenever I met them, I'm like, yo, like we're all very, very similar.
Yeah.
And they are just normal people. They just been grinding for
Yeah.
a long time.
Exactly.
You know what I mean?
Like yeah, you said like obviously they're unique, but everyone's unique. It's just they're the ones who put that work in for years and years and kept pushing. And
Exactly.
that's why they're there.
They didn't
and
give
not-
up. They go back what we were saying before.
Exactly.
They're the ones who didn't give up.
Yeah.
And it's funny, a lot of the success stories that you hear, like big artists, I'm talking like some of the best, like there's stories where like they literally were about to give up. They're like, just one more time.
Yeah.
And then that one more time is their break.
Yeah.
Yes.
man.
You know?
There's a
keep
quote
pushing.
that they came across. It says like you're just one decision away from changing your life. You
Yeah.
know what I mean? It's just one decision, honestly, because like that decision can steer you to another opportunity.
Yeah.
And so on and so on, right? And
Yeah.
then there's also another saying where like you're actually a lot closer to success than you actually think. You know what I mean? It's just the
like
idea
that.
is you're actually the idea.
Absolutely.
You never know, bro. Like for example, you were telling me one of your song that you just almost just drafted.
Yeah.
You just put it out and you said it was popping, right?
Yeah,
It got
it's my
poppin'.
biggest song to date. Yeah.
Which
Cruella?
song is
It's
that?
called Cruella. Yeah.
Yes.
So I obviously like I'm a very versatile artist. Like I started off rapping, and like I started singing too, and then like that started really like getting a lot of views. But like I love to rap.
Okay.
I just love to make music in general, and I have no genre that I stick with. Obviously, like
Oh.
the main theme is like hip hop. Like
yeah.
you know what I mean? But like I have no genre. Whatever music, whatever flows, like whatever, it's just a feeling.
Yeah.
Yeah.
For example, like you ever hear that saying, like it's love at first sight? You ever just see, like let's just say, I don't know if you guys what your situation is, but let's just say like you saw a girl, and you're like, whoa. You know that feeling?
Yeah, yeah.
And you ever just meet people and you just vibe instantly?
Absolutely.
It just draws you in.
Yeah.
It's one of those. So I heard this beat, and it was like a Latin, I guess it's reggaeton, and I listened to it, and I was like, you know what? I've been looking for beats for the past the past like 3 weeks.
Bro,
Yeah.
you can swear if you want.
Oh,
No,
okay.
you're
Yeah.
good.
Fuck. I've been looking for beats for the past like 3 weeks, and
Yeah.
I'm really picky when it comes to music. Like I used to just go on beats that people would make me and stuff, and then it got to a point where I was like, you know what? Like I only want to do things that feel natural.
Yeah.
So if it doesn't feel that feeling I was trying to describe, then I won't do it. So it had that feeling, and I did it, and then I was just like, I don't know about this. Like I was like, I love the song. I love the song, but I'm like,
but it was so different.
but it was different
you.
for me,
Yeah.
exactly. And then I decided to put it out, and then I did a music video for it, and because I don't know, like my intuition was saying like there's something about this song.
Yeah.
like
just
obviously
felt it.
like I like certain songs, you know what I mean, but like I have to be like, okay, what do people want to hear?
So you
Yeah.
put out the song and then you filmed your music video after.
Yeah. Wait.
Because I was gonna say, bro, like if you did, because I seen the music video, it's actually really hype.
It's
It's
sick.
actually really sick. We were actually just watching it, and when you said that you almost scratched that, I was like, yo, how do you scratch like a masterpiece like that?
It's-
You know what I mean? And
Yeah.
like there must have been the time, the money that
This
you
dude's
put
looking
into
at,
it.
like, imagine him though. He's looking at 100 songs in the back end. He's like, how does he know that's the one? Like, they must all feel like good for different reasons. Like,
That's
to
true.
narrow it down to these albums, like, must be so hard.
Yeah, it is hard, and honestly, I don't know. I don't know.
It's tricky, eh? Like,
It just
there's no formula.
yeah, there's no formula, but what I've noticed is that when I just trust I just call it my intuition, your
Yeah,
inner
yeah.
compass. When I just go with the flow, it works. And anytime I've tried to make music by not doing that, like I'm like, you know what? I'm gonna go on this beat because it's popping. I'm gonna talk about this because it's popping. Every single, because I don't know if you know this, like I record myself. I have my home studio.
Oh, cool.
Invested a lot into that, and it took a while for me to learn how to get from point A to B. But like I've been
Yeah.
making my own music since I was 14.
Okay.
And
Wow.
yeah, so it's the type of thing. It's like I'm doing it and I'm recording it and I'm going and I'm just kind of like, this isn't me. It's forced.
Yeah.
So I have a rule. Like I always be myself and I always speak my truth, or like the truth. Like I'm always authentic with music.
Yeah.
So if it doesn't feel real, if it doesn't feel authentic, I won't do it.
Yeah.
So whatever, I'll even do country if it feels right. It just has to be the
true.
beat.
I like that
That'd be
actually,
sick.
because a lot of people just, when you start steering away from the actually passion and love for what you do, for example, going back to what you said, if you hopped on a beat just because it was popular, then it doesn't feel like your true self.
Yeah.
And then it's almost like you're just doing it to just please people. And because initially we all start doing something because we truly love doing it.
Exactly.
Right? Like you probably started making music because you genuinely loved it. Right? And then like when you started doing it for like the wrong reason, then it almost like you're robbing yourself away from that experience.
Yeah.
So
No, yeah, I was definitely like, I've been listening to your music a bit since we set this up, and like the thing I definitely noticed, there's such a wide range of styles, and I'm a big fan of the melodic stuff, like
Yeah, that's
Beautiful
why-
off
yeah.
the new one, and then Loyalty.
So you like that one?
Loyalty was sick.
That song, people sleep on that
I
song.
like Beautiful a lot, and then the older one, Loyalty, I liked a lot. And then the music video especially, that just did not get enough love, was Squid Games, bro. That video was so
Yeah,
sick.
that was that.
I gotta watch it.
That video was dope.
Yeah, remember we were talking about like obstacles that make you like you get tested.
Yeah.
So Squid Game, that it's the biggest show in the entire planet.
Yeah.
At
Yeah.
the time, or I think it still is, holds the records there, and I was looking for beats like literally for 4 hours, and I was like, yo, like I'm tired, like I'm done. And I loved the show, and I saw a beat. It was like, it said Squid Game, and I'm like, I like the show. I'm just gonna click it. I clicked it, and I was leaving. I was gonna go upstairs just so I was done for the night, and I heard the beat for Squid Game, and I was like, I messaged the guy. I'm like, hey, is this copyright? Because the sound. He's like, no, like I have it. Everything's good. And I'm like, okay. So I went in the studio. I locked in and I made it. And
That
then
night.
I bought the beat and everything. And then
Oh, wow.
I was like, I had a plan. I was like, you know what, like. My ideas are really big, and like people they make it more realistic for me. So like I go to my director, I'm like, yo, like this is what I want to do. I wanted to like replicate Squid Game. He's like, okay, that's like a $5 million, $3 million
Yeah.
budget.
Yeah.
He's like, okay, and we talked about it. So we decided that we could do is it Dalgana? The one with the candy.
I couldn't tell you, but yeah,
That's what we did. Yeah.
Oh,
so we
okay, yeah.
so you know how they had many games, so we replicated that one.
Yeah.
And it was a lot of planning, a lot of money, and everything was right. And in my mind, heart, body, soul, everything, all of me, I literally believed. I still do believe. You know, it's just a little delayed, but like I believe that
Exactly.
when I was gonna drop that, it was gonna literally be like #1 viral in the world.
No, yeah, like
Oh wow.
But
it deserved it, bro. Like when I was watching that, and like, because I had just looked at Cruella, looking at 1 million views, and then I'm watching that. I'm like, why is it,
Bro,
like,
I gotta check this
I'll
out.
tell you what it is. So because there's guns, even though it's just acting,
Ah.
there weren't even real guns. Because there's guns, I couldn't run ads on it.
There was one scene that was so sick with the gun where the girl gets hit.
Yeah, but then we all party at the end, right? Just it was just the show. It's just the concept for the video, right?
No, of course. And I mean, yeah, like
so anyone couldn't even promote it.
Anyone watching that can understand this is like production value. This is not.
Yeah,
it's not even meant to be violent. It wasn't this gory thing. Like it was.
I put everything into that video so much, and like I literally into this, and so the beginning of the year I guess it was the beginning of the year when I dropped that, like I was just like broken. I was like, damn, like I've been trying so many things. I've been making music for so long. I'm like, I thought that was it. I'm like, there's no way. I'm like, this video is like insanely well done. Like the beat is insane. I did my thing on the track, and like the song and everything, I did everything right, and just it didn't work.
Yeah.
What do you think that is? Because like sometimes like we get hyped with our own ideas, but like why do you ever sit back and analyze why things worked out the way that they did, or like why things didn't work out? Like for example, like the Corella, you didn't think you thought that was a bust, right? You didn't even really want to put that out, but you still did. But it went super viral. And then this song you thought was gonna go super viral, but it didn't work out. Like, have you thought about why that happens?
Yeah, like I could use some logic in there, like obviously like the ads and stuff for Squid Game, and the song for Koella, it's like it's a good song. It's a type of song you could play anywhere.
Yeah.
And I really love the Latin community, and like they're really supportive too. I noticed that a lot of Latin songs, like it's funny, like I just make music, like as I said, I just go with the flow and whatever beat. It's not like I'm like, oh, I'm gonna do a Latin song. It just happens. Like I'm literally just looking for beats all the time, and people send me beats too.
And whatever the beat tells you, you just feel it, and it kind of comes out.
Exactly.
Yeah.
Oh, I forgot what I was gonna say.
He was asking about like if you can understand from now that it's past, like why one did so much better than the other, even though you thought the opposite.
Yeah, honestly, I don't know. And it's funny because you talk to a lot of, like, you've seen like podcasts and like interviews of like artists who are really, really big, and they're like, it's the song that they literally, like, I'll put my like everything into a song. Like I'll really work hard on trying to make a masterpiece, and then I'll do a song, a nice catchy beat, hook, and saying a little bit or whatever, and it blows up.
Yeah.
So I was looking at my analytics, and like I just noticed that all of the Latin themed songs were doing the best, and I was just like, that's interesting. And I made a Spanish song 2 days ago.
Oh, really?
And it's, in my opinion, I think it's better than all three of the Latin ones I have. Yeah.
Oh wow!
It's gonna be bigger than.
So do you think you're gonna transition into that genre? I know you say you kind of just like all over the place. You kind of do what you like, but like at the end of the day, music is business, right? And then would you kind of like transition into that just because that's where you're finding your success?
It has to feel right. So, for example, like if I'm just gravitating on beats that just so happen to be that, then so be it. You know, like I love the culture. I love the music, everything about it. So it could definitely be a possibility. But like me, I love to rap.
Okay.
I love to make music in general, but like I love to rap. So whenever I sing too much, I'm like, okay, I gotta rap again. Whenever I'm rapping too much, I'm like, okay, I gotta sing again. So whenever I do something once, I don't like to do it again unless I know I could do it better.
Okay.
So I found
it's not a matter of like, okay, let me just stick to this. It's like, okay, I can improve on that. I can
exactly.
improve on that.
Because to me, it's like, if I've made the best song for that genre, why would you want to listen to anything else from that genre? That's the best one.
Yeah,
that's true.
You know, fair. You have your best drill beat, your best drill track. You have your best R&B tracks. You have your best like rap tracks. You know what I mean? But what I've noticed though is like all beats sound different.
Absolutely.
And it's like a Latin beat now could be mixed with like Afro beats. It could be mixed with like a little hip hop and trap. So like there's no limit. So to go back to what I was saying, like I just make music. Yeah. If I gravitate to, it could be country, it could be anything. Whatever.
I want to hear the country track.
That is wild.
It's not really me. Full transparency. It's not really me. So like that would be kind of a force, but it was just an example. You know what I mean?
Yeah. No, I get you.
But like, yeah, honestly, like I just go with the flow. So
yeah,
if you know a guy, you made a beat, particular genre, and you knew it would vibe with me, and I would go on it.
Yeah, it's
just a feeling. It's like it pulls me in.
Okay. I guess you just love the music industry, that like whatever excites you, you just want to jump on it, right? Yeah. So that makes sense.
Yeah,
that makes sense.
But yeah, look for the videos. Like I saw your last few have been through AMX.
Yeah, Andrew.
So that's your
guy.
my
like, boy. Yeah,
how'd you hook
one
up
of my
with
really
him?
good friends. One of my best friends. Okay, it's actually a really interesting. No one's actually asked me that question. Really interesting.
They're good videos, man. I just
We're
noticed.
a video production company, so we gotta ask.
I was a big fan. Like I was like, yo, these are sick. And I noticed you've been working with him consistently, like since you started with him. Like you had some people before that you worked with, but
yeah. So what ended up happening was, so for my job, before I was somewhere, and I find people jobs in the federal government. So like I'm like a recruiter.
Okay.
So they had this competition, and there's this guy who wins every year, and the winner of the competition would get a trip to Miami. So what ended up happening was I was third place just from doing my regular work. I was just doing what I was just doing regularly, and then I was just like, let me try. Let me actually try and see if I could do this.
Yeah.
So it was like 1 week it was him, me, and then when it came down to the final announcement, I won the competition.
Oh wow.
But I wasn't thinking that at first. I was like, oh, like I was single. I was like, should I bring a girl? Should I bring my brother, my boys? I was like, I don't really have anyone in my life right now at the time that's like really like I really want to bring them to do something like that. It's kind of serious, and I'm like, my brother didn't really help me do anything, or like my friends, whatever. Like this is something that I did, like my own hard work. What do I want to do? And I was just like, yo, I could do a video. So I hit up a whole bunch of my the people that I know. So there's just one director that I was working with before, and I guess he just wasn't able to do it. And then I was just asking around. I was like trying to find a director, and then one of my really good friends put me in touch with Andrew, and then we met at Montana's, had a little meeting. It was the first time we met, and then I trusted the vibe. Everything was good, and then brought him to Miami. We filmed Alpha, and some girl that I know that was in a video with me. I did a Want music video on the beach, so at Peacher Island. It was just me and like a whole bunch of, it was like a beach party. It was crazy. And she was just like, yo, I support you. Like anything you need, like I'll come out. Like I wanna do this. And so she flew out, her and her girl.
Wow.
So we had a hotel room with 2 beds, and we didn't really sleep. Like we were just filming the whole time.
Okay.
Wow.
Yeah, we were filming the whole time.
That's grind, bro.
Yeah, so that's where we met Andrew. And then after he sent me the music video for that, I was just like, okay, let's do something else. And then ever since then, we've been like inseparable. Like he was over at my house the other day, like 4 days ago, I think.
Oh yeah.
Yeah, like we're really tight. Like people that I do business with, I like to. You want it to be fun.
Absolutely.
Like if I could do business with somebody, or I could do business with someone who I could call my friend, but like someone who takes it seriously. Yeah. It's hard to find that.
There's a balance you got to find.
But that's the thing about it. Like me, I'm very, very serious about my dream, and so is Andrew. And that's why we like you know what I mean?
Connect, like you guys have the same vision, and you guys complement each other, right? Like he turns your vision into reality, and then he's able to create something for himself with you, right?
100%. And it's music videos. I love them. Like that's when I was a kid. That's how I would fall for an artist.
Okay.
Now I'm more obviously like the music is the forefront, but like what makes me kind of respect an artist is more their mind, the things that they talk about, the things that like they value, you know what I mean?
Okay.
So it's not just, you could have a sick music video, you know what I mean? But like I want to know like who you are.
That's why I like J. Cole and Kendrick Lamar.
Yeah,
they have
really good values. They talk about meaningful things, and like to go back to what I was saying before, like I only want to do things that are natural, go with the flow, and I only want to speak my truth.
Yeah.
So what I've noticed is like the artists that I like and the people that I guess get along well with are just people who are just very honest. Very honest and just real people.
And based off that, like
good energy, you know?
Based on that, who's your favorite artist right now?
Ooh. Like as just like musically, or like as an individual?
Both. If it's 2 different answers, what are both?
Like who do you listen to the most right now?
My favorite individual, like overall as a person for an artist, would be Russ.
Okay.
I don't know if you know who Russ is.
Yeah, I like Russ.
From Toronto, right? Or outside?
No, Russ is different Russ.
Oh, really?
Russ, he's big, Russ.
RUSS, right?
Yeah, RUSS.
The rapper?
Yeah.
He's not from Toronto. Am I tripping?
No.
No, you're probably thinking about Tory Lanez.
I'm thinking Tory Lanez.
Yeah,
I fully am.
Tory is actually one of my
I
favorites
love
too.
Tory Lanez.
Yeah.
But I totally mix them up.
Yeah, for like overall, I would say Russ. Musically, I've been listening to. It's between WizKid and Dave East. Kind of opposite.
Interesting.
We got Afro beats, and then we got
I don't know who those
Dave
two are.
East. You don't know who WizKid is?
No, I don't. Like I said,
He's like the Drake of Africa. He's one of the biggest. So picture the way that people treat the biggest artists here.
Yeah.
In the U.S. and the States, like that is WizKid overseas.
Wow.
really.
Yeah.
Okay. That's interesting.
Afrobeats is coming. You'll see.
Yeah,
You'll
yeah.
see. I'm gonna bring it. I'm gonna do my thing too.
Good.
I just need to find the right beats. So if anyone has good Afro, just any beats in general, let me know.
Where do they hit you up? Tell them. Instagram?
I guess Instagram. Yeah.
Okay. J.
Yeah. J.CII.
That's crazy.
Hit them up with some beats. Afro beats, preferably.
Yeah,
But
I
any
al-
beats, country beats. I want to hear that song.
Yo, that'd be wild, bro.
Give him a country beat that he likes, and I want to hear that.
And the thing is, like, I always listen, but what I'll do, like, I always give people a chance. And if I listen to like one or two and it doesn't sound like that's it, you know what I mean?
Yeah, yeah.
Because
Get your
like
shot.
it's either quality or it's a vibe, you know what I
Yeah.
mean? Like, how do I say this? Like certain people just have it.
Yeah.
Certain people just have it,
yeah.
and it's like the certain beats. It just is. You ever
Yeah.
just meet a certain person? You ever just go to a certain place? It just feels.
The energy,
Different,
like
100%.
the aura. And one
Yeah.
thing I do like, I know I said I don't really listen to music, and which I don't in comparison to like people like you, or just both of you guys here, obviously.
No, I'm
But,
a music guy here. That's
no. No, but what I'm saying is that like I find that like sometimes I hear a lot of rappers just talking about like a whole lot of nonsense. You know, they're just flexing and all that stuff. But like the artists that I actually gravitate towards to are people that are great storyteller, like Logic, J. Cole. I really like those two artists because
Yeah.
they're a great storyteller, right? Like they can
Yeah.
actually tell a story through their music, right? And
Absolutely.
it just flows because then that, you know how I told you like my mind is kind of just like hyperactive and just thinking, whereas like when I listen to those two with those two artists in specific, I'm almost like playing a movie in with what they're rapping. So I guess what I'm getting at here is, for you, how do you curate your like song? Like what inspires you to with like the music that you make? Is it do you talk about like your personal story, or do you talk about like certain things? Like how do you come up with your song ideas?
That's interesting. So step one is I find the beats. So
Okay.
I have like my phone's over there, but I have like I don't know when I started doing this. I don't know. Maybe I was 14. I don't know. I probably had a flip phone by then. But anyways, I have a note that says lyrics, and I could just go like this.
Oh wow.
Okay.
And the sun could come up, and I'll still keep going.
Yeah.
Even if I'm
Really?
going fast.
Are these like full verses or like individual lines?
Just like lines that I've come up with. Like for example, like we could just be having a conversation, and it's either I will say something, and I'm like, I'm like, it's a joke. I'm like, that's a bar. Like
Okay.
you know, like
Yeah.
you know what I mean? Or like someone will say something, and it will make me think about something.
Yeah.
Like you could say something, and it will just sound like a quote, and I'm just like, I really like that. How could I take this and do me with it? You know?
Yeah, yeah.
That's really interesting. I like that because I'm like that too sometimes. Like I just think about certain things, what people say. I just feel like because you have that personality, do you find it like kind of hard to just like actually focus sometimes?
Yeah, it's hard for me to focus. Yeah, for sure.
When a bar comes by, it's this
Yeah.
combo
Well,
over
'cause-
like, oh, that could be.
Well, that's the thing too. Like when you're trying to do anything, you have to literally embody, and if you want to be, because everyone wants to be an artist, an athlete, an actor, right, or actress, or whatever. You know what I mean? So you have to literally this has to be you fully. So literally, like something happened, and like I gave everything to music, and like ever since that point, it's like that's who I am. So to answer your question, like I have the lyrics. Whenever I find a beat that makes me that has that feeling, it draws me in. It's weird. So I can go on a beat. I could write music. I could write songs very easily. That's just what I'm good at, I guess. But you'll see me write the song, record it. You'll be like, okay, but then you'll see it different when it's authentic. You know what I mean? So sometimes I'll go off one of the words, or let's just say one of the lyrics, one of the punchlines really like impacted me. It sounds like a good way to start the verse. I usually do that sometimes. But lately, and actually before I did that, I actually used to freestyle a lot.
Okay.
And I just sometimes, like, actually a lot of the time it just comes from something. I don't know.
Like you hear the beat, you kind of, whatever you're feeling that day, it just kind of flows into the song like naturally.
Yeah, it's weird. Like no ghostwriters is me. I'll never ever have a ghostwriter.
Okay.
Like never. Like I really, like I said before, like I really care about music. I really take it seriously. It's really special to me, and like I want to make sure it's authentic. So like I'm the only one in the studio. It's literally just me.
Okay. Yeah, that's wild.
Just
usually
me.
people have
no
a
other
team.
input. No other input. Yeah.
Would that mess with you? Like if you had a producer there trying to make adjustments?
I do all of that myself.
Wow.
I would like to have a producer come in and like help me maybe do some different effects, you know, like some cool stuff where maybe I could like expand like my pockets here and there. But besides that, like, yeah, how do I say this? Like, let's just say there was a producer that was pretty much like making tracks with everybody.
Mm-hmm.
It's all different because it's different artists, but it's still that guy's beats. It's still him.
Yeah. No,
you know what I
what
mean?
you
So,
mean.
and every artist nowadays, or a lot of music that I hear, it's like people are either trying to copy someone, be something that they're not. And it's like whenever I find an artist like online that's just being themselves, I'm like, yo, I like it.
Yeah.
You gravitate towards
Yeah.
them. Yeah.
I like it for sure.
Is there anyone like that stood out recently? Like that you came across and that was just so authentic?
They're just being themselves. I guess this guy Jay Huss, I literally just discovered him. Well, I knew who he was before. I guess Drake dropped that song. I don't know how it goes. It's like, who told you bad man don't dance or whatever. And it's just like, he did that long feature.
Yeah.
It's pretty big actually on Spotify. I checked him out because of Drake. Everyone knows Drake, obviously.
Yeah.
And I listened to his album today, and he has his own sound.
Okay.
He has his own sound. I respect it. Like, when you hear my music, I don't want you to be like, oh, he sounds like this, that. I want you to be like, oh, that's JC. You know?
Yeah.
I do that purposely. Like, there's no other input.
That's actually interesting because that's like one of the first things when I listen to, especially rap, it's like the first thing that comes to my mind is like, oh, it sounds like kind of a mix between him and him. But like, I wasn't getting that with you. I was just like listening to it. There was no like comparison really I was making in my head. So that's very interesting.
Yeah, and you could still know it's me. You know what I mean? Like, you could still tell it's me. Like, there's parts that I guess that's just me that are consistent with me.
Definitely.
But like, I try to do it so that, because everyone's different. Some people like listening to a certain style. I just noticed that sometimes when it's just the same flow or the same kind of beats or the style, it's like whatever song was the best from that album is the one I'll listen to, because the other ones are just kind of, you know?
Yeah.
So to me, I'm just kind of like, okay, how could I just make music where they're all like that?
Yeah.
But they're all different. They all flow.
Exactly.
And that's what I do, yeah.
No, because there's a lot of artists where it's like, you pick the two popular songs off the album and it's like kind of the rest are just other versions of that.
Exactly.
Like, you don't feel the need to listen to the rest.
Exactly. And when it comes to albums, like, I want you to listen to them the whole way through. I don't want you to be like, oh, skip this track. Like, certain songs, like, I will put on there because, like, other people, like, I made the song, and even though I might gravitate more to this beat more, I know that the song is, like, really, really special and really impactful. Like, for example, like, Beautiful. You listen to the project, Variant is my last album that I just dropped. You listen to the project, they're all, like, kind of upbeat kind of beats. Beautiful, it's like right in the middle. It just very opposite to that.
Yeah.
But I was like, the whole project was made because of that song. That song is an album song. So whenever I make a song, I'm like, this song is too good to be a single. This is very impactful and very special. This is an album song. So I'm like, okay, Beautiful. This song is like, it sounds like there's a choir. It's like, it sounds like it's like 3D. Like, it's crazy.
So how does that whole album thing work out? Like, do you just pick out random songs and you just say, okay, this is an album? Or is there like process, like, okay, you know what, I'm going to make an album, so now I have to make like 7-12 songs. How does that go? Or like, can you take your old music and just put it into an album? Is that how that works?
I've done that before. Like, sometimes an old single that I believe is like, would fit the album. Because it's an old song, like, and it might be like hidden on your feed or whatever, it doesn't mean that like it can't be brought to the forefront.
Yeah, for sure.
So for me, this is kind of funny. I'm like I like to do projects. Like I'm
Okay.
old school. Like I like when artists like they did music videos, they told stories, and like they had like full bodies of work.
Yeah.
So I've dropped 3 albums, and I have to start dropping singles now because just the way all the algorithms and the way the game has changed and the way the platforms work, you have to drop singles. So this will be the first time that I'm releasing singles. So I have to break kind of like my own kind of way of doing things to kind of like adapt to the way things are being.
Yeah.
So full transparency, every song that is on my album, I actually like for real. And every song that isn't on the album, they're like scrap tracks.
Okay. So these are your
But they're
personal
still very
favorites.
good. I can make a really good song,
Yeah.
but it's like it didn't like slap like beautiful. It didn't have that
It didn't
impact.
connect
Like,
like
yeah.
that. Okay.
Yeah.
That must be so challenging to like scrap songs that you've put hours into. Like
I mean,
how many songs in the process of making Variant, like how many do you think were produced fully and not going anywhere?
Probably like actually I got better at choosing the beats and doing it properly.
Okay.
So yeah, part of me like scrapping less is like, okay, like I know what I got better at beat selection. I kind of know
before you even get to that
yeah,
point.
but there's a lot of times where like I'll like buy a beat. Like I've wasted so much money just I bet the beat and I'm just trying to do it, and then I'm like, oh, didn't feel right. It takes a while to figure out what the right way to do things is.
Yeah, I'm sure.
So I guess I don't know. Like I probably didn't scrap as many, but like how many songs didn't make the cut? I think I made like 23 and only 7 made the cut.
Yeah.
Oh shit.
Damn.
Yeah,
That's a lot,
I was
bro.
really picky with this project. So the caption is 7. So albums used to be like very, very big,
Yeah.
very long. Like there'd be like 20, 30 songs. Songs were like way longer.
Yeah.
Michael Jackson, like music videos were like movies.
Yeah.
Because of all the stuff that's happening, people's attention spans have gotten like shorter. So it's like short-term content is in.
Yeah.
So they changed the criteria for albums to be 7 tracks.
Minimum.
Oh, really?
Yeah,
That's
and-
like a set kind of thing.
Yeah.
Oh,
and I
wow.
also realized that like people are so busy, like they got so much stuff going on. Like I was like, people usually don't have more than 20 minutes to really throughout their day to day to really like sit down and like listen without something going on, like without going on social media,
Yeah.
work, or just anything, you know what I mean? So I was just like, okay, how could I make a project that has 7 songs that all of them are like, this is the best song? I'm like quality over quantity. So I'm like, instead of me doing like 20 and just putting fillers, I was like, I'm going to do 7. So it took me a while to narrow down those 7.
Yeah. That
Do you ever
becomes
get
the
like
hard part.
do you ever get like outside input like from your family or friends, like, hey, what do you guys think about this? Or do they all come from just like from yourself? Like, you know what, this is the song that I want. I don't care what anybody says. This is going on the album.
It's kind of hard to get other people's opinions because it's like all my music is just different. It would have been if it was the same kind of thing I was doing, and I also just keep getting better. Like I just know I keep growing,
Yeah.
and I make sure that I keep doing things that keep leveling the bar. Like
course.
that's my that's my goal. Like to always keep taking a step.
Improving.
Yeah, always keep improving.
Yeah.
So there are one of my best friends, Makwa, and one of my other best friends, Jordan. Like I value their opinion. Certain people, like you could tell that they have a bit of bias behind their, like they like rap or like they like singing. So
Yes.
but they're honest about it too. Like the people
Okay.
I have around me are very honest. So to be honest, it got to a point where I just started to trust myself in my own ear, and I was like, you know what, like I know what I'm doing now, and I just trust myself. Like
Yeah.
I just go with the flow. I don't know, like
And it's all
Yeah.
authentic too, right? Like
Yeah.
at the end of the day, like going back to what you're saying, like you do things that just feels natural and that feels good. So like you, I guess, picking them out from just like from you internally, just like it just makes all the
Yeah.
sense in the world, especially from that perspective.
Yeah, and it stays consistent with your style instead of because like you said, like especially with a varying style, like one person's reasoning for those songs they like best is totally
it'll be
different.
biased,
So it's like,
exactly.
it kind of needs to come from you, and then you like what you like from there. But
exactly. That's the thing about it. It's like people, they tend to kind of put their own kind of thing behind it,
Yeah.
like their own opinions and stuff, and it's just kind of like, okay, like I understand that, but like for music, it's like you have to be completely honest with yourself. So I kind of like listen to it on like phone, laptop, speakers, car, whatever, all different
Yeah.
places, and like I try to pretend that like I'm not like who. If I wasn't myself and I heard this song, would I like it?
Yeah.
So I started doing that more recently, and like that's why I don't make music as frequently, because I'm like so picky with the beats. I'm like, if I couldn't listen to this beat without anything on it, I don't want to go on it.
Okay.
You know what I mean? Like,
That's true.
So every piece needs to be like
you want
perfect.
yeah, that's the thing about it.
It's quality.
If I'm going to be going and giving all of this, like all of me, like, because again, I record, I do everything myself. So if I'm going to be putting in like the hours to get it done, paying out of pocket to do a music video, marketing, all these things, like the A to B, the B has to make sense. So to me, I'm just kind of like, would I listen to this song if I wasn't me? And I'm just like, nope. So now when I go to find beats and like the beats are like A1, the beat that I just recorded on is crazy.
I'm excited.
So every beat pretty much moving forward since that clicked in my head, like it's only going to be beats that are like A1, or it just moves me.
Yeah.
A beat could be really simple. It doesn't always have to be like crazy, like attention seeking. It could be really just like certain way. And I find that like the beat needs to have space on the beat for my vocals. You know, when there's too many instruments, it's just kind of like, there's a lot of beats that are really well done, but I can't go on it because
it's too busy.
it's just too busy. And it's like, you need to leave space for the artist.
Yeah.
Certain, you know, with drill beats, you could actually, there's so much going on, but for some reason when you just go on that, it works. It's one of those genres. It's crazy. But I find for me, when there's too many samples or too much stuff going on, like I said, I go with the flow. So it starts to like, I'm going to what they are putting with the instruments, and it's like,
it limits you.
yeah, pretty much.
Yeah.
So I like to go on beats that, yeah, like I guess I have space for me to actually go on it.
That's interesting. Yeah. Do you have any music videos in the works from Variant? Or are you planning to at all?
I put the videos on hold for a bit just because. So to go back to what I was saying before, like the goal is to keep improving. So after Squid Game, it was just kind of like to push the. Oh, that was cool.
Yeah, I don't know.
I have no idea.
To push the bar up from Squid Game, it's just a lot.
Yeah.
It's just a
'cause the
lot of money
threshold
and
is
planning
already
and
right
stuff. Yeah, and it seems to me like short-term content is in. Like right now, it's like reels and shorts and all this stuff.
Definitely.
And like with TikTok and Instagram and stuff. So,
Do music video really get that? I know some music video, like the high level ones, are like really expensive, but like I'm not sure if you're open to it. But like the Corella one, that seemed like a really expensive music video. I mean, like,
yeah,
like how much money did you put into that, bro?
I think it was like 15 for that one.
Wow.
15.
That's just because you're paying the models too, right? Is that including
That
paying
was
them?
yeah. Like I never really paid people to be in my video. Like when I started working with Andrew, he was just like, "Yo, you got to do this," and I was like, I've never had an issue getting people in my videos. Like
Just
I have
like
the
friends.
I have the Want music video. There's like girls everywhere, guys. People just pull up to the beach. And then there's the 2 + 2 = X. I did that at Cavalli. I don't know what it's called now. It's it was one of the biggest clubs in Ottawa at the time.
Okay.
That video was crazy. There's like me and like 80 dudes in the club. We're just going crazy.
Yeah.
Damn, 15K. That's
That's
like
wild.
that's a big commitment.
Yeah.
Definitely.
And the thing about me too is like I don't want to have to pay someone or convince someone to do something. Like it's supposed to be like I really love to do this for real. So like when I had to, so I just started doing that. I just started like, that was the first time I ever did that.
Okay.
And it bothered me. I don't like paying people to, it's like, yo, like if you want to be in it, be in it. Like if you don't want to be in it, there's someone who will be in it. But then it started to get to a point where I was like, okay, the people who do get paid and the people who are professionals, like they actually do it properly.
Yeah.
And you could see that.
Yes.
And at the end of the day, like, yeah, I have to kind of adapt and kind of, you know, but it would be better if people were just down
Definitely.
to just do it like before.
But that's the thing is,
You know
yeah,
what I
like
mean?
when you pay like for models and stuff, then it can be 100% what you say goes. Like it's your vision.
Yeah,
gets
that's
to
the thing
create.
about it
it's-
too.
It does open that up a bit, but I do know what you're saying for sure. And like you can like we used to do that all the time. Like we'd make product videos and it would just be like our friends or someone using it and stuff. Like we'd always do that.
Yeah.
It's good.
Paying
It's
for
a great way to
models
start
is
out.
really expensive, bro.
Yeah.
And, like,
Well,
especially-
well, that's the thing. Like again, like it's just I just want to make the music and I want to make the art, and it's just kind of like all that stuff. I'm just kind of like, hey, like, you know what I mean? But
yeah,
it has to be done, I guess. I personally would rather do. I want to start doing videos that like kind of like tell a story.
Yeah.
I don't want to do videos that are just like. You know what I mean? Like you just go on YouTube, someone did the same thing.
Yeah.
It's the same thing. It's like the same
replicatable.
car, same girl, same whatever, and it's just like.
Yeah.
I get it, you know what I mean? But like to me, like I'm trying to steer away from that, and I'm trying to just like do what I feel.
Yeah.
Absolutely.
Just create what I feel is real to me.
Yeah.
And I don't know. I guess so. I don't know. Like I'm just taking a break from videos because I'm just like I just bought the house, so
Yeah,
got a lot going on. This is the biggest year I've ever had. A lot of stuff going on.
I kind of want to step back a little bit. I see that like you're really passionate about music and whatnot, you know, like the way you just speak about it just comes from like passion. How did that even start? I know you talked about like how you started making your music at 14, but like how does someone like I know people love music, but how can someone like, because making music I feel like is such a like daunting feeling, you know, especially putting it out there, right? Especially at a young age. Like how did that like love and passion for music actually like start up for you?
So that's a tough question. So that would go way back to when. So the first song I did, I was 14. But what I've always been an athlete. Like I've loved sports, like every sport. Like if people in the city know, like they know. Like if they know, if you've ever played a sport, you probably played me, or we played each other, or like we've heard of each other or whatnot. So like I've always been an athlete, and like at the very beginning, that was like always my dream, because that was the only thing that anyone, when you're a kid, that's the only thing you really know. Like hip hop and all these things started to change. Like Eminem, 50 Cent just came out with like this all happened when we were kids.
Yeah.
And then
like early 2000s.
yeah, and like of course, like you I've always written poems, stories, like I've always been a creative, but like you never really think that it could be a possibility.
Yeah.
So then you see Eminem doing it, and like Eminem's like obviously one in a billion, you know what I mean? So you're just like, okay, I don't have a story like Eminem. I'm from Ottawa. And then you see like Usher, you know, like Usher was winning every award, and he could dance and sing. Like I'm like, I at the time when I was a kid, I was like, I can't sing like dance like that. You know what I mean? I was like, okay, like it was a dream, but it was just something I never thought was possible. And it's funny for me to bring up Drake, but like he actually did kind of pave a lot of doors down for a lot of people. For example, like Drake, he didn't have a story like a story of struggle like Eminem, or like or he wasn't doing what Usher was doing. You know what I mean? He literally just made good music. He was like, I'm gonna be myself, and I'm just gonna make music. Yeah. And then look what happened. And just so this grinding. This is all happening when we were in high school, right? You know, when this started to happen, music started to change, and like I guess Best That I Ever Had came out, and like music started getting melodic. You were saying you like melodic music, so it wasn't until all of these started to happen, I was like, okay, I started to see this. And then one of my friends at the time, like he was doing music, and like we were like really tight, and he was recording songs like Rock Band mic into a closet with a sock, like some really sick. Old, on a program that doesn't even exist anymore.
On a sock,
it was cool. The program was called Cool Edit Pro, and this program doesn't even exist anymore.
That's Cool so Edit Pro.
So I recorded. I was just like, hey, like, can I do a song? And I did a song, and I recorded it and at his place, and I did it. And for the first time, when you do something, usually it's not supposed to be good. Like especially for music, like you see a lot of people, they try. It's like they can't. The flow, or like just there's so many different things, you know what I mean? And I recorded the song, and for me being the age that I am, and me being it the first time I've ever done it, like it was like pretty well done. Like even like looking back on it now, I'm like, if I was gonna judge it like analytically, like for myself, I'd be like, okay, I flowed to the beat, I delivered properly, like the cadence, everything was there. And I was
for
like,
your first time, so it was like
for my
natural.
for my first song. And most of the time, it's like, for example, like you play ball, like it's gonna take you some time before you get your free throw going. You know what I mean?
Of course.
But like it was like it just happened, and I was just like, I heard the song, and I just kept listening to it, and I was like, hey, can I record again? And then it started getting like that, and then eventually I ended up getting my own studio and doing my own thing. And
wow.
Yeah, we're still going.
How old were you at that point? Because I know you said you
grade
started
9. I was 14. But like I was making music like not recording music, but I was always just like creating. I want to say since I was like 6. It was just something that's always been in me.
Yeah, because you're saying you were making poems too, like that
Yeah,
just
I
goes to
always
show
just-
like
You're
you're
a writer. You've always been.
Yeah,
into that.
always writing.
Creative.
Yeah, pretty much. Yeah.
When did you release your first song? Was it at 14 or was it much later?
Yeah, I guess it was that year.
Really?
Yeah.
Is that
I got a
still out
YouTube
there
channel.
somewhere?
Is that yeah?
Yeah,
Really?
I'll show you after.
Yeah, I
Yeah,
have to see.
yeah,
I'm
very
really-
different. Yeah, very different.
Curious.
I love
what type of
people's
style?
progress.
Very rap style or
It was, you know, the song "Can't Let You Go" by Fabulous.
Can't Let
Okay.
You Go?
I don't know how that maybe
If you heard the beat, it's one of those. If I played it, you would be like, "Yeah, I know this."
Okay.
Okay.
I'm
It
sure
was
I
one of
would.
those, yeah.
Yeah, I can't recognize the name.
The beat is like, so I love that beat, and I was just like, you know, it was my first time doing it. And I was like, let me just do something that feels easy for me to do, because like you know what I mean. And I just did it on that beat.
Yeah.
Went on YouTube, converted it to an MP3.
MP3 converter.
Yeah.
Yes, bro.
YouTube to MP3
bro, I still do
download.
that these days.
Oh,
I
absolutely.
did it last week, bro. No, 2
Absolutely.
days ago for a video.
Absolutely.
You gotta do what you
It's a
gotta do.
tool.
I know.
I love it. That's
But,
wild.
I mean, like, I know we're going back, but like right now, like with the music industry is shifting really quickly.
It is,
I
yeah.
have one question. How do you feel about like AI? Because I've been hearing like this AI Drake song and whatnot. Like, does that, as an artist, does that like bother you, or does that concern you in the sense that like maybe someone can, I don't know, like it's not authentic, it's not people anymore, but people are vibing with it? Because I remember when that AI Drake came out, people were like, yo, this is the shit, you
it
know,
was
like
low-key
this
good.
is really good.
What was so crazy about it to me was like, take or leave whether it was a good song, but it was so Drake. Like the type of lines he was using, the flow, like the beat, it was so Drake. That's what was crazy to me. Like, it
Yeah,
was just
I get what you're saying. Like, well, think about it like this. For example, let's just say like with the podcast, you know, you put together your content, you put it out. How would you feel if a page took your content and literally did everything you were doing, literally you, and just changed the things you were saying?
yeah.
How would you feel about that?
Oh, that's a
That puts it back on us. No, that's for real.
Yeah, so to go back to
That'd
your
be
point,
very
like I really
frustrating.
care about music. This is for real. I said no ghostwriters. I do my own music myself.
Yeah.
Okay.
So how do you think that a real artist would feel when they do something like I'm doing, and then someone could just do it? And you know what's crazy? So I had a lot of conversations about this, because AI, it's pretty serious. Like, again, like it can be, and it's a very good tool, but if it gets out of hand, then you know what I mean. Like, it depends. Like, there has to be limits on it, because if there isn't, then anyone, it's free game. Like, anyone could do anything and you can't.
you can't perform at a live like
Well,
Blues Fest.
It's
though.
like playing it's like playing a computer in chess. Like,
Yeah.
Yeah.
it has everything.
Everything's
So,
calculated.
Yeah. So the only way. So this is my theory on it. So AI is coming for everybody eventually.
Eventually,
Let's just
man.
be real.
No, it's
It is what
gonna
it
evolve.
is. You know what I mean?
We're already doing it.
We use it all the time.
Yeah.
It's
AI, it's your phone. It's your phone. It's just getting
Exactly.
closer
Yeah.
to you. Your phone is AI
it,
essentially.
absolutely, yeah.
So my theory is that AI could beat everybody except for real artists, because no one knows their story except for them, and AI can't just make it up.
Yeah.
AI could do what it's doing with Drake, because like it's not really talking about much, and it's just doing like the
Exactly.
stereotypical stuff that Drake does. But like, for example, like Kendrick Lamar, To Pimp a Butterfly, or like even J. Cole's music, like it comes from the heart.
Yeah.
Even like Tupac's music, like he spoke from the heart and he told his stories, his truth. So my theory is, as long as you just keep it real and tell your truth and be authentically yourself,
Yeah.
That's
that
true.
AI might be able to have good beats, it might be able to do crazy flow and all this stuff, but like it won't have the feeling.
Yeah.
That's
the
true.
thing
It
to
won't-
connect with.
It will sound good. Everything will be A1 about it. AI about it.
Yeah.
But A1 AI. But like, but it won't. And AI, at least now, like again, it's AI. What makes us human is the ability to have feelings, right? So
Emotions, yeah.
that's the thing about it. When you when I record, it's like I don't know, I'm transferring something, energy, whatever you want to call it. It's like music. It's like,
Yeah.
it's power in the music. There's power behind your words, and
Yeah. And you
there's
can't-
power behind music.
Yeah.
It's like
Yeah.
a frequency, it's a vibration, right? So the thing is, the AI could do everything will look good on paper. Everything will look boop, 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 boop. But then it's just kind of like, it's missing the feeling.
Yeah.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? And it's like, I don't know how if it gets to that point, then I don't know.
Yeah.
Is it
And that's the
AI
thing
anymore?
too,
It would
like,
be, it would be
yeah.
human at that point. Well, then you'd be like, what do you define as human? And it's a whole other conversation.
I know, that's the thing about AI. Like, it's only a matter of time before it can, like, yes, there's no emotion behind it, but it can learn how we interpret emotion and create that. Like, at a certain point, we're not going to know the difference. But
Yeah.
it's getting wild. Do you watch? Have you ever watched Black Mirror?
I love Black Mirror. It's one of my favorite shows. Yeah.
What's that episode? The one about the girl who like Netflix makes a show about her and it's all
Joan
AI.
is Awful.
Joan is awful. Oh my god.
Yeah, I watched that. Yeah.
You were telling me about it,
was
but
telling you.
even my girl was telling me about how Black Mirror is great. I
It's so
haven't
good.
seen a single.
But we don't have to
episode.
get into that. I was just curious. But no, it's
But yeah, it would kind of yeah, I can understand. But here's the thing: if you're a real artist, you don't have anything to worry about because like
Yeah.
you're telling your truth, your story. If you're not moving, like being yourself, you're not moving correctly, then AI could just replace you and take
Yeah.
over. But it can't authentically take over things that are authentically them because nothing could do that better than them.
because that's the
Absolutely.
thing.
Like
is
if you do you do you. Like an AI could try to replicate you, but it's
Yeah.
like a clone. It's like it's not you.
Yeah.
It could look like you, might all these things, but the real you, the real you is the real you.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? So
yeah, like it's like if you're constantly trying to copy a style or copy an artist, AI can do that better. But if you're being genuinely you, AI can't do that. It can't create that from
Exactly.
scratch.
True, especially when people are invested in you. You know, people know
Yeah.
your true sense self. You know.
Yeah.
But like, I guess like if you look at it from a macro perspective, like obviously, like as people grow up, people are growing up in this generation. You know what I mean? People can get comfortable with like AI music and whatnot. Like, do you think that like maybe in the future, like 50 years from now, like real artists wouldn't even be a thing because everybody's kind of just like no new artist would even have the chance to like or have the opportunity to kind of like build himself up because like AI is just there and that's the go-to thing. Like, bro, fucking Spotify has the AI DJ,
Yeah.
bro.
you know, one of the
Have you seen
biggest
that?
group they have. So check this. So labels, it's all a business, like you were saying. Labels have AI that created fake like AI artists and AI everything,
Mm-hmm.
and they're one of the biggest group in the world. And it's like, so I saw a show. It was called like Deep Fake or whatever. So and it's getting to the point now where they could replicate your voice, your face. They could literally have like shows you robbing a store and they could literally make it look like it's you.
I know. I was thinking
That's
that too. I was
wild.
realizing
Yeah,
now
it's
more and
pretty
more.
serious, yeah.
I think
could do
more and
anything
more
almost.
video footage is not going to be like believable or like used in court or anything like that.
It's
Because it's
not,
like
yeah.
that's not me. That's AI. Like I didn't do that.
That's
Like you could just
true.
easily
You can
like there's no
tamper
way to
with
know
stuff.
now.
Yeah.
Like I've seen videos of Barack Obama saying whatever the hell, like just crazy shit that he's never said. Like
Yeah, I've actually heard some stories where people's parents or grandparents getting scammed because
Oh,
they would
yeah.
get phone calls like,
Yeah,
"Hey, I
that
need
happened
money.
too.
Yeah, like I'm in big troubles right now. Can you
Yeah.
please give me $5,000 and blah 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 and do transfer and you just get scammed."
yeah.
I honestly don't know what the future is for music with that, because whenever the AI Drake thing came out, like I was tripping a little bit too, because like someone made a joke to me, they're like, yo, are you worried about this AI thing? And I'm just kind of like the only reason you should be worried is if you know you don't got it.
Yeah.
If you know, like, because think about it, no one could do you better than yourself.
Of course.
So as long as you're just doing you and just being you, AI can't come for you.
Yeah.
Because you keep growing and changing. You know what I mean?
Absolutely.
If
yeah.
you know what I mean? It's just that song by Jack Harlow. They don't love it. That song, you
Yeah,
probably heard
yeah.
it. And I don't believe an AI could do that, because that came from the heart. He was
Yeah.
telling his stories. Like, you feel the emotion in that.
And AI can't like
Yeah.
innovate. It can repeat. It
Exactly.
Can't create. But in my opinion,
It might be able to
it
eventually.
might. I'm sure
it might be able to
realistically.
create new
But,
artists like you're saying, right? Then
yeah.
you could create
No, it
characters
could.
There
similar
would
like,
be no need. There would be, again.
But in my opinion,
But I would rather have authenticity, and I
Yeah.
would rather go for the real thing. That's just me.
yeah,
True.
Like I think maybe I'm not even sure if this is true, but like maybe AI music will become a thing, but I don't think it will ever fully like just
Well,
make
they'd
it
have
so
to
artists
specify
aren't
that
a
it's
thing.
AI, yeah.
like
Yeah, like I
digital
think
artists.
people will always want real music, but maybe there will be a generation of people who like AI music, but I don't think it's gonna just make real artists obsolete. Like I think there will always be room for real music.
What do you think about this? Just to throw it back, a question for you guys.
Yeah,
So
yeah.
let's just say like Pac and Biggie, they're obviously like, you know, they're gone.
Yeah. Or are they?
but you know what I mean. So like, let's just say, so you probably saw the hologram of Tupac.
Yeah.
So if they're doing with what they're doing with Drake's voice, they could literally, if you think about it, they could make albums with Michael Jackson and like they could
do full live performances.
But here's the thing though, like the new generations don't know shit about those artists though. Like, you know what I mean? Like right now we still know those guys because like we were all born in the 90s, right? Or like early 2000s. But like 20 years from now, like those artists, like as AI are coming out and whatnot, then those kind of just become obsolete. And
but the hologram thing is real because once that becomes advanced enough, then they could create a fake artist, make fake music, and then have them perform it and have a full-on celebrity like that shows up to interviews and like.
But do you think that they should? But that's the thing, you would never know if it's real or fake.
It's kind of wild. At a certain point, you might not.
Did you see the fucking Drake hologram where he passes him a buck
with his younger self?
Yeah, that was trippy.
Insane. I can't even. He like passed himself a physical book.
Yeah, I don't know how that.
Things are gonna get to the point where you're not gonna know what's real and what's not. But again, like. This goes back to everything. So like, if you go with the flow and you follow your intuition, you trust, like you follow your heart, whatever you want to call it. You just you go with the flow, like, and you move that way. And AI cannot replicate that because wherever it's like your soul, like you know what I mean. It's like in your body. It's like, okay, like where does it come from?
Yeah, but what would you do as an artist to compete with that? Right? Like, does that mean like you're
with AI?
For example, like obviously new AI artists would be coming out in the future. I'm sure that's inevitable. But as an artist, like how do you compete with that? Does that mean like you're gonna ramp up your social media and like really create your brand, or like have you even thought about that?
From a business standpoint, you could either do one of two things. I guess you could either do it better than what they're doing, or you could differentiate yourself. So to me, I've been saying this for a while. In 2023 or just today, this generation, if you just be yourself, you are different.
Yeah,
you are in the top. You're in the top bar.
That's a bar. Write that down.
No, for real.
Get your phone out.
Where's the phone? Where's the notes?
So my brand is called Different. I represent it with the Joker.
Yeah, and
so the Joker is the wild card, right? So my analogy is kind of like this. So there's like all the aces, the twos, the king, whatever, all the numbers, and there's all the kings, and it's like. All the queens and whatever. It's like, don't get me wrong, the kings and the queens, like everyone would want to be that looks appealing, but it's like there's 4 of them. Like, you know what I mean? It's like you're conforming and you know what I mean? It's like, but the Joker is the wild card. So my analogy for it is like, if everyone just bees themselves, they're a Joker. And the whole point of my brand is so that everyone just bees themselves, so everyone could be a wild card, because like respectfully, like everyone's looking like the same cards. And it's like, I want to know you. I want to see you. I don't want to see like who. Do you even know who you are? Like you know what I mean? It's one of those.
I think a lot of people these days don't. Like I think that's a big struggle. Is they get lost in it. Like they see, because with social media and stuff, you just see someone popping off and getting popular and rich. So you're like, so that's what I have to do, and they just try to copy until they realize like, they have no idea who they are, what they want to be, or anything.
Exactly. You don't even know how they really got up there too.
Yeah. But that's the thing too, though, is like we also like there's also a problem from like the consumer side of things, right? People that are just mindlessly consuming content and whatnot, and sometimes they don't even create their own opinion. A lot of the times their opinion is biased based off of what other people are saying. A lot of the time people don't even get a chance to digest, okay, do I actually like this artist, or what do I actually think about this artist? They just go based off of like what people are saying and what the headlines what the headlines are saying. You know, like if I, for example, you tell me an artist, oh, listen to this song, this guy's hype. So now I'm gonna go in it with the bias of like, hey, this is gonna be hype. Even though I think it's ass, I'm gonna be like, okay, maybe this is not as bad, right?
Absolutely.
And I think that's why I like the fact that like back then, like when people were selling albums, you would actually just put in the CD and just actually listen to it and actually feel it out for yourself. Whereas nowadays, people are gonna be like, oh, the new album is trash. And then like it kind of ruins people's experience, because other people's opinion, sometimes not even valid opinion, people that don't even like know shit about music or don't care about music are having their opinions nowadays. and then it's just tarnishing other people's like own opinions. So I think that's kind of a problem as well.
Yeah, and you know what's funny? Like to go off that, anytime someone is speaking negatively or like saying oh whatever, I actually take that as a sign that it's actually truth and it's actually good. Because what I've noticed is that when you hear things that sound crazy or like whatever, and it's like if you actually do your research and know what's going on, like that's the truth. And just because people are saying it's negative or whatever, it's like it is what it is. So what I've noticed is like, for example, when Russ first came up, he was getting a lot of backlash. He was just, I don't know, like he had a whole bunch of stuff that was going on, but he just kept doing his thing. He kept telling his truth. He kept riding it out. And people at first, it was really negative, and now he's like doing shows in Egypt, and he's like, he just kept going because he knew what he was doing like was real. Yeah. And it doesn't matter what people think or whatever. It's like, I've noticed, especially today, when a lot of people, I actually go the opposite to what the majority is saying. So anyone says, oh, I don't like that, I'm like, let me check it out. Yeah. Anyone says I like this, I'm like, okay, it's probably like, the same as everything else. You know what I mean? So I actually I've been doing the opposite of what everyone has been telling me to do, and it's been working.
You just gotta be mindful of like what you're consuming too,
I think it goes back to like what you keep going back to is like being authentic to yourself and being true and unique to yourself. Like that doesn't just come from the creator side, it's the consumer too. Like just because everyone or some people have told you it's bad, like you have to hold out and let your own opinion like be real. Like you can't just take opinions as your own. Like you have to really feel it from your own self and like.
See, that's the thing. You're saying that because you're actually logical. But what I'm saying is that with the new generation, they just rely they rely so much on like what other people are saying that they almost don't even think for themselves. And that's such a terrible way of living.
That's literally my whole brand, and literally everything I say is like, be yourself, think for yourself. No, you don't have to push anything. Just like think for yourself. And maybe you'll find the answer. Yeah. But what I like to go back, you were saying is like people don't think for themselves because like they just, I guess they don't feel like they have to. They find a video or like their parents or like their friends or whatever, like their higher superiors or whatever, just saying. People just take it as face value. Yeah. Oh, whatever. Oh, my teacher said this. My mom said this. Oh, the TV said this, or oh, whatever. And it's just kind of like, do your research. Research, make an opinion for yourself. Yeah. A lot of people like they come I got in fights with a lot of people about this. So like I actually got pretty heated like about people are just like there's a lot of back and forth about Kanye. And people are always just saying a lot of negative stuff about Kanye. And I get it, like, you know, there's a lot of stuff going on, but it's like listen to his first 3 albums and come back and say the same things you were saying. Yeah. And they're like, oh, no. I'm like I said, your opinion means nothing to me until you, like, in order for you to make an opinion, you have to understand. You have to listen and, like, understand everything fully for you to make an opinion. You can't just go off pieces of information. So it's like, just because you might not like Kanye today or for whatever reason they don't or whatever, everyone has their own opinions, right? It's like, you can't say he's a bad artist. Like, people are like, oh, yeah, I don't like, he makes trash music. I'm like, he doesn't make trash music. And if you don't like his music now, go back and listen to his first 3 projects. Is to this day, like his first like 3 albums, like they're some of the greatest pieces of music I've ever heard.
No, 100%.
He talks about real stuff.
Yeah. I mean, Kanye is a hard one, right? He's been around so long that like him and his first couple albums is like literally a different person than the thing. And again, even now, like it's never been his music I don't like. It's just like the directions he's going outside of music that can be a little wild.
And that's the thing too. Sometimes like you can just, for me, I take things for what they are, because sometimes like I might not like the person, but I like what they do. For example, like going back to the Kanye, like I like his music, but that doesn't mean I could not like him as a person, but it doesn't mean I don't like his music. I'm not going to completely write off a person because of a certain thing about their life. Like, for example, like
you miss out on things that way. Like if you just completely write things off because of one thing, like, or you don't agree with something, like you just miss out on things in the world. Like,
like for example, like I used to be a big baseball fan, right? And like my favorite player was Alex Rodriguez, right? And then Alex Rodriguez took steroids. And then my mom was like, oh, why do you still like him? He took steroids. He's a bad person. Like, okay, like he's a bad person for that, but it doesn't mean like I have to stop liking the way he plays the sport. Yeah, you know what I mean? Absolutely. And then so it's just like it helped him out, but like I don't like, or like like, oh, he's been with multiple women. Like, I don't care about his like
Yeah,
personal life.
I get what you're saying.
I like how he plays baseball, and that's what I care about because I'm a baseball fan.
Yeah.
But that's the thing about it too, is like I could differentiate that, but a lot of people can't. And to me, it's just kind of like I get it, but to me, it's like, okay, those are external things. When you hear the music, when you see the art, when you feel the art, like, don't worry about how it was created or whatever. Like, just listen to it and appreciate it. Don't worry about what this guy's doing. Like I know a lot of people, a lot of artists who are very, very talented. They got a lot of weird stuff going on. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
But it's like, just listen to the music, and that's the thing about it. Like, yeah, I agree with you.
Don't write them off.
I think there's always something to learn from anyone, like whether it's good or bad. And sometimes it's you learn what not to do, but like you can never just completely say, I'll never listen to them, I'll never interact with their content. Like, you have to be willing to consume everything, really, and then you can form your own opinion. But if you just hear one thing or hear someone else's opinion and say, I hate that person, and then you never interact with them again, like, you're missing out. You might be learning in many ways.
And then anytime someone voices their opinion or they say something, I always ask them a question. And then you find out really if you should, like, if it's really their opinion or not.
Well, why do you feel that way?
Or like, why do you feel that way? I'll be like, for example, like the whole Kanye thing, someone, I'm not gonna say the name, but they're like, oh, I don't like him or whatever. I'm like, what about him? You don't like? Oh, he just doesn't make good music. I'm like, okay, have you listened to these 3 albums here? This first few projects that he dropped? No, I don't need to. He sucks. I'm like, listen to these projects on your own time, and then we'll have this discussion again. Didn't even want to do it. So therefore, to me, like, people could say what they want or whatever, but to me, an opinion can only be truly felt and valued if it's if you do your research, you understand the 360. You can't talk about something fully unless you know everything about it. Still, you're probably never gonna know everything about everything. You know what I mean? But like, if you're gonna voice your opinion and for it to hold weight, you have to back it up. People just say stuff. I'm like, they'll say something about me or they'll say something about someone else. I'm like, okay, when did I say that? Or when? Give me an example of why you say that about me. They're like, oh, well, I'm like, I'm literally waiting. I'm asking you for that example. Like, because, you know,
people like to like paint this,
they just say stuff without backing it up.
Exactly. Like, they like to just like label people as one thing. Like, for example, the person who said they don't like Kanye makes bad music, like, maybe if they listen through, maybe what they actually mean is, I don't like his most recent album. Like, maybe that's what they think, but they don't know because they're not listening, and they just say blanket statement.
Or it might be someone else's opinion and they just want to carry it because they don't have an opinion, and everybody likes to have an opinion. But the fact that they don't have an opinion, they're carrying someone else's opinion just so that they can feel like they have an opinion.
That they're part of it.
Exactly. And to go back to the card analogy, it's like, if people see a whole bunch of people are these cards, like, here, like, everyone's joining in and it's cool. Like, oh, I'm a join in too. I'm a fit in too. So like, a lot of people's opinions, like, I don't even know if they're really their opinions.
Yeah, exactly. Like, I mean, I've done that when I was younger. Like, some cooler kid or my older brother said something, I'm like, I agree. That's my opinion now, because I just want to. I want to, like.
But you could hear things and like go throughout your life. People could spark stuff, you know, like bars. You know, it could change you. You know, and obviously you're gonna keep growing. You're gonna keep changing for sure.
How do you handle negative feedback? For example, like, I know as an artist, you've had a big few hits and whatnot, and I'm sure you get some feedback, and it's a natural thing as you get bigger. Like, people have either like bullshit to say or just like honest negative feedback. Like, how do you handle that as an artist?
So I guess it would go back to days when I was in high school, I guess. So whenever I first did sports, remember they had like grade 7, 8, 9, 10, or like 11, 12. Excuse me. I was always the one person in my grade that was younger to compete with them. So I've always been like, had people trying to come at me all the time. And I've done music. I started in high school, so I was one of the first, I don't know how many people were really doing it in the city. Probably, I want to say 50 artists in the whole city of Ottawa that were really started doing this. So I started off at the beginning, back in the day when like high school, when anyone was doing anything, people would just roast you and come at you.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? So
really
like,
was like that.
Yeah. So like anything. So I guess I just have like thick skin. Like anytime I was in sports, because I was good, people are always trying to come at me. Every time I'm in class, everyone's just always, there's just something. So I just, you know what, I was just like, I just learned to just not care what people think.
Yeah, it's just over time you just built tough skin. Have you had anyone like when they see something like Cruella or Blues Fest or whatever, like someone who used to talk shit come back, flip up on you?
Like people
like, oh bro, I've always loved you, man.
Yeah, that happens a lot. A lot. But again, you don't really know if it's even genuine or whatever. Yeah. And you don't even know if they even are hating for them hating.
Like maybe it's true they always did like you, but they just had some other things.
Like check it. I had a guy. So every time I would drop a video, there'd be it was called a YouTube page called JC Hater. So
my God.
The video, the song won't start till like 45 seconds or 30 because it's an intro.
Yeah.
And I drop it first 15 seconds, he's already hating. Oh, trash song. I'm like, damn. So I got to the point where I was like, okay,
that guy's a fan.
This guy,
bro, he made you a fan page.
But check it. Eventually it turned out to be a guy that I knew. And he actually told me, he's like, yeah, bro, like I just, like I actually, like you're actually good. Like he told me, he was just giving me a hard time.
How'd you find out who it was? Did they tell you, or you somehow found out?
He just told me.
What the hell?
Yeah.
That's wild.
People are weird.
At my university, he just told me. Yeah.
There's a true saying, bro. Don't fear your enemies.
It was someone I was close with too. My biggest hater. Yeah.
Yeah, and that's the thing, bro. Like there's a saying where like don't fear your enemies because they'll tell you that they hate you straight up.
Yeah.
Fear the people around you because they're the ones that will actually backstab you.
Yeah. Well, that's why like I had to change my surroundings. I only surround myself with people that are like really kind, really real people.
Yeah.
People that I don't have to question. You know, like your intuition, you know, you're like that sixth sense. Like, let's just say someone's behind you, you kind of feel like someone's behind you.
Yeah. Mm-hmm.
I don't. Any of my friends now, any of my team, just people that I surround myself with, if I have to question you or feel the energy is off, I really trust that.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And you should.
You're right though. It's the people around you that actually.
That's insane.
Yeah. They say that it's not, because I was talking to someone about this the other day. I was like, it's not. I'm growing. I'm not changing. I'm still the same guy.
Yes.
It's other people start acting different around me.
Yeah.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? And it's just, and I'm not even I'm not even at the Drake level yet. You know what I mean? It's just like, but like, it's other people around
that are staying the same.
Yeah. And I've been doing shows. I've been telling people to come pull up to my shows.
Yeah.
CBL, Latin Sparks, even Blues Fest, like shows before that, music videos, you know what I mean? And just like people just, I don't know. People just don't. The real ones show, and the people who I guess it's not genuine, they just don't show.
No one will.
Or maybe I don't know what the reason is, but
like sometimes people don't even support you until you kind of make it, and then they'll jump on the bandwagon. You know, it's like, oh, yo, I actually fucks with you, but then like. At the early stages, you can tell who's really fucking with you from the get go.
Those are the people I'm bringing with me. Like that's it. Like, everyone who's real with me from the jump, like, and anyone who's helped me and who's been like genuinely real, like I don't forget that. Yeah. And like I'm gonna like pay it back in some sort of way.
Yeah.
And that's the thing about it. Like I've been doing music for a long time, and as you know, like you guys are entrepreneurs. Like you know, like it's hard to do something. It's competitive, and it's just like people around you doubt you, or like people don't support you or whatever. And it's just like you really have to believe in yourself.
Yeah.
I guess I had this delusional dream and mindset that like I'm like I know where I'm gonna be, and like until I see that otherwise, I'm not gonna stop. And the vision is still clear in my head.
Good. Because success weeds out the weak, bro.
Absolutely.
Yeah.
Just to get to the 1%.
How's it feel, man? Like I feel like Blues Fest, like Latin Sparks, like these things are like all these years of work, like starting to show like, okay, it's actually moving up. Like how's this feeling lately?
It's good. I've done this independently. It's just me.
Yeah.
Most people, like in other artists and I guess in the city and throughout other areas, like they have like their team of people.
Yeah.
Or like they'll have a label, or like they'll have an investor or something. And it's like, it's literally just been me. It's like my dream that I've had since I was 6 years old that I didn't even know was possible. To me, actually like doing my first song and seeing it's possible, and me seeing other people do it. And I'm like, okay, this is actually this could be real for me, and it will be, and it is real for me. So like
good.
The moment, like,
is the goal to always stay independent?
Ooh, on the camera, huh? Yeah.
Up to you. Up to you.
So the goal is, I'm really about ownership.
Yeah.
And I'm really about creative control.
For sure.
I find a lot of artists, when they get signed or bought it or whatever, like they lose their ownership.
Absolutely. I mean,
And
you
that's
hear it
just
constantly.
All the songs that I made in my basement or like in my studio, or like from like, they weren't there. Like I'm giving away like,
Yeah, the ownership of
yeah,
that
like
is wild.
Yeah.
And like you hear it so much, especially in rap, where like, or I mean, really in any music, where like people are saying like, oh, I want to release this album, but my label won't let me. Like I can't put music.
But that's
out.
the thing about it. I'm independent. I could do whatever I
Yeah.
want. Sure, I have to like, I've been kind of like posting around times for algorithms and stuff, but like the one thing I like about Russ, again, like you should actually check him out. He's pretty cool.
I do listen to Russ actually.
Well, like I guess, yeah.
No, I know I love Russ. I just mixed him up
okay.
with Tory Lanez when I was saying he's
okay,
from
yeah.
Toronto. I mixed it up, but I love Russ.
But he talks about it too. He's like, yo, like if I want to drop a song at 4 a.m. because it feels right and whatever, like I could do it. And like,
Oh, he's independent.
he is independent, yeah. So that's the thing about it. All it takes is for me to see someone do it, and I know that I could do it, because I don't think I've ever really seen an independent artist actually do it and do it properly.
Yeah.
They're either gone, or like they got screwed over, or like they can't do anything, like they were saying. So I know, like, and again, like, sure, artists are signed in they're good situations, like Drake. I'm sure he gets to do whatever he wants. It looks like it, at least.
Yeah.
Russ is inspiring to me because he literally, like, he did it. He's a walking, breathing, like, living proof that it could be done.
It's true, man.
And he is independent to the
He
bone, selling
grinded
out
that.
stadiums and places all around the world. And I'm like, I seen it. I know, I've always known I could do it, but now I have proof. So it's a little different. You know, like, it's not just like you want to get logical. It's like, okay, if this person can do it, and I'm already doing so much by myself, and they have like teams of people and mad money, it's like,
Imagine what you
imagine what imagine what you could do or what I could do. Like, you know what I mean? It's just, it's one of those. And as you go, it gets easier, and more people start to help out, and like, you know, you start to like form a team, you start to grow, and it does get better for sure.
Yeah, man.
And you're just like and you're just gonna be like I said, you just have full creativity, because like when you're not like independent, exactly, you're controlled. They dictate what you do, because I find that sometimes people get robbed from like their creative aspect, just because it becomes like a business, you know. Because at the end of the day, when you sign with a record label, just the business side of things is like you're basically their investment, and they need their money back.
Yeah,
you know what I mean. And then so they want you to be pumping out a lot more music so that they can generate cash flow.
But that's the thing, you can't rush creativity.
Yeah, and exactly, that's what I'm saying, is that like then you're not so focused on quality, you're focused on quantity, because there's a record label behind you, like breathing through your back, you know?
Exactly. And I don't think I would want that. Like, the thing is, like, I know how to make good music, and I just have good ideas, and I know how to get it done. And it's like, I don't want anyone trying to tell me how to do that, because then it will be like the thing we were saying, if everyone is signed to the same label and they have the same team and marketers or whatever, and they're all like, oh, this is the way to do it, it's like you're just creating like cookie cutter of like artists, and it's like, I don't want to mold, like, I just want to,
you want to be free.
I want to be free. And so the only way that I guess it would work for label and signing would have to be like it would just have to be like a marketing thing, like where it's like, okay, look, you have the vehicles, you have the money to really take this blow up. Like, yo, I'm like, it wouldn't have gotten anywhere without you guys helping, or maybe it would have. It would have moved at its own pace, but because they decided to like
speed it up,
like it drastically went from point A to B just like that. And it's like, I would be willing to split the profits with them, but that would be the only thing, though.
Yeah, you need to keep masters. You need to keep.
I would
never.
I would never give up ownership. I would never give up creative control, because like
but that's how they
I don't
get
want
you though, bro. Like,
it is,
like they
that's
give you
why,
like upfront cash. Yo, we'll give
but
you
I'm good, bro. I'm good.
Know,
I'm
exactly.
like, I'm good in my life. I made sure that like everything is good, so that I'll like, obviously, like, music is my dream, and like that's what I want to do, and that's what I'm doing. But like, it takes some time to get to that point, especially independently too.
Yeah.
You could sign to a label. I could, like, I don't know. There's so many things you could do. I could
Dude,
like
you get some crazy collabs. You could have like insane artists on your next album. Like with a label, like they can do crazy.
yeah,
stuff
I could
for you.
like dye my hair a different color. I could get like things tatted on my face. I could start
Yeah.
rapping about things that aren't me. I could go up, but it's just like we said before, like your input is your output. There's no
Yeah.
shortcut. So it's like you took that shortcut, you're advancing, and you know what I mean. But like,
It's not sustainable.
Yeah, it's
You're
not
there
sustainable.
and-
Are you happy? You're not being
Exactly.
yourself. You're putting on this persona. You're doing all this stuff, and like, I never want to be anything other than myself.
Yeah.
Because it's one thing to get there, but it's a whole another thing to actually stay there.
Yeah.
You know
And
what I
if
mean?
You
Like
faked
you, can,
your way there. Like how do you maintain?
you can't
that?
hang, bro.
Yeah.
You can't hang. You
Yeah.
know, because now you're just like there's so much pressure. There's so much like you're not you. Then you're
It's
not,
all about your foundation.
Yeah, and you don't
Yeah.
like what you're doing, and you just like it's just a big.
Maybe that's why a lot of artists fall off, because like maybe that I don't. It could be like label. It could be like other things. You know what I mean? But like, I've seen a lot of artists just disappear, and like some of the best artists I've seen, they just stop making music.
Yeah.
Because they got probably caught in some situations, and I've learned from their mistakes, I guess, or I've learned from seeing like what happened
Yeah.
with them. And yeah, like honestly, I've never seen a situation besides like some very high tier 2 artists that are like doing it and they're free.
Yeah.
You know what I
And
mean?
It
Like-
is. It's rare.
Yeah,
It's really rare.
Being free is like, that's the goal of life. You know what
Yeah.
I mean? Like,
no, literally, that is what the goal is. Like that's what most people are striving for is freedom. And I guess artists, like they see being famous and rich as freedom, but they don't realize that signing the label kind of takes that away. Even though you've got the money, you're not free. You have
there's
You're
always
obligations.
a catch.
financially free, but then
It's
like
3
even, like,
albums in
your
the next
time.
2 years. It's blah blah blah. Like you
That's
have
wild.
set things.
but that's the thing. And it's like, sometimes an album could take longer.
yeah.
Like
You
there's
can't force it.
there's times where I'll be recording, like I'll be in a really good mood and I'll have a really good month, and there'll be times where I can't find any beats.
Yeah.
Have writer's block, or just maybe it's some other external things in my life that's going on. I don't know.
Mm-hmm.
And music, it just happened.
Yeah.
Like creativity, it just flows. Sometimes
can't
it comes,
force
it
it.
goes, and you can't force it. Yeah.
Yeah. Well, JC, man, I don't want to take too much of your time. This has been so dope.
I know.
But what do you got coming up? Anything soon? I know you said Andrew was your videographer.
Yeah,
Andrew.
my director,
I saw
yeah.
you were talking to him recently. Is there anything there? What's going
Yeah,
on?
he's trying. Yeah, we've been talking about it. Again, like I could do it at any time, but
Yeah.
like I said, like I just bought my house.
Yeah, man.
That's
Congrats
wild.
on that.
Congrats.
Yeah,
though, for
thank you.
real.
Moving in October, so
In this
exciting.
market too, that's big moves,
That's
bro.
exciting.
yeah, I worked very very hard for that, and I had to take a break on the music videos because that was like my biggest expense.
Yeah.
To be honest, or you know what I mean.
Fair.
So I took a break from that, and I was able to save up and do that, get the house. And the whole reason for the house is so that I could actually create. Remember, I was talking about music comes from the silence.
Yeah.
I didn't understand that and then it clicked, and I was like, I really get what this guy's saying. I can't focus because like my life is so chaotic. There's so much stuff going on. I'm always here, and it's like I need to just be in one place.
Yeah.
True.
And I want to make my foundation like feel comfortable and good.
Yeah.
So like that's what I'm doing. So I'm
That's
just
so
releasing
exciting.
singles and doing TikToks and
Sweet.
reels, and then one of them's gonna catch, and then
Absolutely. You just
whichever
gotta
one
keep
catches,
doing
I'll do a video for that. Yeah.
There you go.
And that's so
Any,
true though. Yeah.
Any shows or anything to look out for? Because I'm trying to see a show now. I miss Blues Fest.
Yeah, it was sold out actually.
Really?
Yeah, a lot of people
wild.
couldn't get tickets. It's
No
crazy
way.
because I guess Shania Twain, like everyone loves Shania Twain in Ottawa, and she sold it out.
She's from Canada at least, or
I don't know who that is.
something like that.
I believe she's Canadian. Don't quote me on that, but
Yeah.
I believe so.
yeah.
The
but-
shows just come. Like honestly,
Okay.
like people reach out to me with opportunities like from time to time, and like I used to say yes before when I was younger, and like now like I'm very very specific.
Yeah.
Like I got asked to do a show before Blues Fest, and I got asked to do a show like I think at some other like some boat cruise thing. Like people reach out to me, and I'm just it has to make sense. Like Blues Fest makes sense. Like I'm trying to keep stepping up, or if it's an opportunity that will allow me to perform in front of a crowd that will actually like, I don't know,
open up opportunities.
Yeah, like it has to make sense. Like it has to be calculated. So
of course,
the shows, I'm open to do shows. It has to make sense. I'm probably gonna start applying for some of the major shows in Canada.
Yeah, like some festivals.
Yeah.
Just
Osheaga, Metro, those things.
Yeah, I'm gonna look into that for sure.
Yeah.
But besides that, the opportunities, people ask me, and if it makes sense, I say yeah.
Yeah.
If it doesn't,
well, thank you for coming to our podcast.
And I appreciate you guys for having me. For real.
Before we go, so anyone who wants to see your next show or whatever, follow you on Instagram. That's the place.
Yeah,
to be.
my Instagram is j.c III. And my Spotify is just j.c. So you'll probably see me like right near J. Cole there, you know?
Yeah.
On Spotify.
That's so true, J.
Oh, that's true.
It's the same on TikTok, j.c III.
Okay.
And I guess if you just find me on one of those, there's buttons
the
with
rest.
all the social media. You could click them all. So.
Okay, beauty. So everyone keep an eye out for the next show and the next single and blow up that TikTok. Let's see. Let's blow them up. Let's get it popping.
Mason, you gotta start a dance, bro.
Yeah, I'll make the next dance trend. You send it my way.
I'm waiting for TikTok to take one of my songs and just
blow it up.
Yeah, I know. I've seen a lot of artists blow up because of TikTok.
Oh, absolutely.
Actually. Yeah, just, like, becomes a trend.
There's literally Spotify playlists like TikTok songs. Like
no way,
like,
really?
Yeah. That's a cool spot. It's where you blow
I
up.
have no idea how it happens, but when it happens, I guess we'll all know.
It just takes one person to do it, and then it's just like a chain reaction. It's like a domino effect, bro. One person is like, "Oh, that's kind of cool," and it just catches.
For real,
you know?
Yeah, I've seen it. I've seen independent artists like blow up, like, and their whole lives have changed.
Yeah,
like one of my favorite artists, he was like flipping burgers and then dropped the song, and then his album went #1.
Wow.
Who's this?
Bryson Tiller, actually.
Oh yeah.
No way.
Yeah, well, he said he was like Papa John's, or I could be mixing it up, but he said that he was working and he did the song "Don't."
Okay.
And
I like that song.
He released it and everything changed. Like he started getting contacted by his like favorite producers and everything just changed.
I didn't realize that was like before he was popular. That's
I'm telling
insane.
you, bro, you're one decision away from success, bro, and you're a lot closer than you think you are.
Well, look what happened with Ice Spice. She dropped her video on World Star, and like from that, look what happened.
Yeah.
One song, literally one move could literally, like the chessboard out there, literally the right move could literally make you like win the game. You could literally just one move you could
elevate. It changes the whole game.
Yeah,
you know what I mean. Just be calculated and just keep going, keep trying. That's the biggest thing, because like you never know what's gonna happen until you try. You know, like never fall into the paralysis by analysis moment. You know, because a lot of people get caught up with just overthinking and they just end up not making a move.
Yeah.
But at the end of the day, bro, life is gonna keep moving regardless whether you make a move or not. So just make a move.
It's true.
Exactly. That's the thing. You just gotta keep going. And too many people are giving up, or they're just conforming to something. Yeah. And it's just like, just don't, like, the difference between, I guess, me and other people who are in different places I just kept going.
Yeah.
And I'm gonna still keep going.
Keep pushing.
Nothing's gonna stop me.
You don't lose until you stop. That's it, man.
That's true. But yeah, thank you so much for having me, for real.
Thank you very much. This was awesome. We're excited to see what that next move is, but we'll all keep an eye out.
Sounds good.
We're looking forward to it. Thank you very much, man.
Appreciate you guys.
And thank you all for watching. We'll see you at the next one.
Peace.